You comfy?
Yes.
Okay, you figure out what to do with your hands.
No.
Ow! Jam! Hello again and welcome back to another episode of the TMP Nerf Report.
Wah wah. Really?
That I did not know, really. I'm Chewie, this is Mike, and we're back because Hearthstone has made, well, they're about to make more Nerfs.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
I guess.
Or boo.
I guess it depends.
Yeah, just pick one.
Yeah, it's gonna be one or the other. I kind of doubt any of these are gonna be, These will go into effect soon, TM, because Blizzard. Yeah.
Next month.
Once these changes are live with update 10.2 next month.
Oh, okay.
So next month starts in 2 days from the time of this recording, so sometime after that. So first up, as you can see on the screen somewhere right now, Bone Mare.
Might have only been one of those places.
I am not doing the fusion dance with you.
Okay.
Bone Mare. It's going from 7 mana to 8 mana. Meh.
Yeah, maybe that's the one.
Yeah. This one, yeah, seems fine. I remember when they previewed Bone Mare, it seems like everyone lost their mind because it's 997 taunt.
Yeah.
4 of that has charge.
I admit, I didn't get it at first because I didn't realize the full implications of everything you said just then. And it took a while for me to start playing it after it kept beating me over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's brutal in Arena because it's common, and it's a huge pile of stats in Arena, which stats are way important in Arena compared to Constructed, but then it's also tearing up Constructed because it's a huge pile of stats. And yeah.
Because that 4 bonus is like worth 4 mana in and of itself, much less the taunt.
Yeah, Blessing of Kings. Yeah, then you add in the taunt and the 5/5 body. And
yeah, it's a lot.
It's totally 8 mana. Totally. And it is now. And I think this is fine. Because Bone Mare has been in control decks as, a finisher and, more big threats and whatnot. And it's also in aggro decks.
Yeah.
As a top of the curve, haha, I win.
Right, because of the charge aspect you mentioned.
Yeah. And making it 8 mana, I think just makes more sense, because that will mean fewer of the super aggressive decks play it, in theory. Or if they do, it'll slow them down by a turn, which is still important. But also, the fact that the ideal turn to play Bone Mare, the very next turn, the priest goes Anduin and kills your Bone Mare and the thing that it buffed. At least with this, the ideal turn for them to play Anduin is now not immediately after you buff your dudes. Yeah, because that's terrible. And playing Anduin in various decks, I would always just be like, they're like, Bone Mare, and I'm like, alright.
But now you have to wonder about it.
Yeah.
Huh. I hadn't thought about that angle.
Yeah, I think that's actually really important to just push that back a turn and not make it the best turn to play Bone Mare is also their best turn to destroy your entire turn's worth of work. Yeah.
Oh.
But what did they say here? Increasing its mana cost by 1 will give opponents more time to utilize powerful late game cards to counteract Bone Mare's effect on the board. It also means they might hold on to that Psychic Scream for an extra turn. I don't know why I'm stuck on Priest. Like,
who else has late game board wipes?
Warlock.
Warlock.
Yeah. Who you might notice is conspicuously absent from this list, but we'll talk about that. This one, I think basically everyone that actually pays attention and cares about the health of the game is fine with.
Yeah. The difference between 7 and 8 isn't trivial, but it's also not enormous.
Yeah, it's not as huge as the jump from 2 to 3.
Right.
Yeah, poor Fiery War Axe.
Still good.
Although it did allow for Keleseth to be played in warrior decks now, so look, there's a blessing in disguise, let's say. Yeah, that was my reaction too. All right, so let's go down to the next one, and this is the one that everyone is like, wait, what?
Yeah, this is why I gave you that response of holy wow when you
And he did.
when you sent me the link to this.
So Corridor Creeper, 7 mana, 5/5, costs 1 less whenever a minion dies while this is in your hand. Is now a 7 mana 2/5. Talk about the Nerf bat. Good
Yeah.
Lord. They used it like a piñata. So Corridor Creeper, for those of you that aren't aware, is played in like all the decks. Just all the decks.
Right, because it counts both sides of the board, and
Yeah. And like any deck that wants to play like the pirate package is totally playing Corridor Creeper.
Oh, yeah.
I keep a Corridor Creeper in every opening hand ever. If I have 2 Corridor Creepers in my opening hand, 2 7-drops in my opening hand, I'm like, I'm gonna win this game. And you know what? Sometimes I do. Usually do.
yeah, because if you're playing a normal game of Hearthstone, a lot of creatures are going to die.
Yeah. And since there's so many decks running the pirate package, they're like a thing with 1 toughness.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's it called in this game? Health. A thing with 1 health and patches. So that's like 3 things that are gonna die. Now they're both 4/4s in my, or 4 drops. Words are hard, Mike. I'm full of Mexican food. I might die. So now there are 2 4-drops in my hand. Give it another turn or 2, and they're 2 mana 5/5s. And then they're free 5/5s. And you want to talk tempo swing? Drop 2 0-cost 5/5s on your opponent. If you play Shaman, you've been doing this for a long time with Thing from Below, and it feels good, man.
Yeah. But even with Thing from Below, you have to go way more out of your way to get to that point. You have to play in a non-normal way to charge him up. But like we were saying earlier, with Corridor Creeper, you just play Hearthstone, and eventually you get it.
Yeah, like I'm playing 2 of these in my Big Spell Mage deck because it's all board wipes. And it's a ridiculous tempo swing to be like Dragon's Fury, wipe your board, free 5/5, go on turn 5. Like that's insane. Well, now it's a 7 mana 2/5 because it's in all the decks. And they don't want it in all the decks. It's not supposed to be that powerful. And it's really draw dependent. Like if you get the Corridor Creeper early, your chances of winning just skyrocket compared to drawing it, top decking it on turn 12 or something, and you go 7 mana 5/5. So they've decided to nerf it down to a 2/5.
That's just an eye-watering change.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. It feels like instead of just nerfing it, they kicked it in the balls and left it in the gutter. Which, granted, Blizzard is known to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Hearthstone nerfs used to be. They didn't use a nerf bat. They used a sledgehammer. BAM!
Yeah.
And shut up and get out of here.
Yeah, like the Commander.
Yeah, the Warsong Commander is the most egregious example of that.
I mean, now this is just a carrying grub, right? That's sometimes slightly better, sometimes slightly worse.
Wait, what does that cost? 3?
3, doesn't it?
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think positive. Where do you still use this? You still use it in Evolve Shaman because it's still a freaking free.
Right, because it's still a free 8-drop, right?
Yeah, well, once you evolve, it's
Yes.
gonna be an 8-drop. You still use it in, I guess, pretty much any kind of like token deck. Like Token Druid? Man, that's probably got better examples, but it seems like any sort of like small minion-based, swarm deck, you're gonna be good with Corridor Creeper because even though it's just a 2/5, it's still basically in those decks a free 2/5. And the 5 health, wrong game. The 5 health is still a lot.
With having 5 health, and even with just having 2 power, it's still it still continues to be a decent anti-aggro card.
That's true. I used to play the heck out of
to give you another couple, small removal effects after you've traded away the ones in your hand earlier in the game.
Like, I used to play the heck out of that 4/5 with taunt that costs 2 less.
Oh, yeah.
If your opponent has a board full of creatures.
Has a bunch of guys.
I used to play the heck out of that, and while not that good, I mean, it could be free, so that's pretty good.
Right.
But, I mean, being realistic, I don't know if anyone will ever play this outside of, like, Evolved Shaman. Because 5 health is a lot, but the 2 attack it's just so pitiful.
Yeah, I mean, you still have some beast-related synergies in Hunter and to a lesser extent Druid, a much lesser extent.
It is a beast.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess a free 2/5 that you then Houndmaster is pretty sick.
Yeah.
So there are some corner cases where it might be okay. I mean, we get 2 weeks of full dust value after the nerfs go through. I think I'm going to hold on to it and see where it lands in the meta before I dust it, but...
I still only have 1, and...
Yeah, but yours is golden.
Yeah.
So you should, like, dust that thing just immediately.
That's what I plan on doing.
Because that's awesome. What do you get for that? Is it 1,600?
It might be. Full value gold epic.
I think it is.
It might be.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
It's a free legendary, dude. Okay, so moving on. Speaking of free legendaries, Patches, the pirate, is getting nerf to not have charge anymore. He's in charge now, Mike. He's not in charge now.
You think they're going to change what he says?
I have no idea.
That'd be funny and sad at the same time.
It would actually be both of those things, yeah. I legitimately don't understand why anyone would ever play Patches again. Outside of pirate decks.
Right. For just a...
Like, if you're playing... There's one of the... Is it the Pirate Warrior deck, I think? Actually plays, like, a bunch of pirates. Because... that's what it does.
Because of the ones that also have weapon synergies.
Yeah.
Especially because of the one where if you control a pirate, it gives your weapon +1/+1.
Yeah, the
so you have to have a critical mass to make that work.
Yeah. So in those decks, I think Patches is probably still fine.
Yeah, sure, why not? Free card.
Yeah, but lots of aggressive decks are playing the pirate package, as it's called. Usually it's South Sea Deckhand, South Sea Captain, Patches. You just put in those 5 cards, and that's your pirate package, and sometimes you just get a free 2/2. Or if you're, like, in my Tempo Rogue deck, I'm running those and 2 Swashbucklers and Keleseth. So it's not uncommon to just get a free 3/3 with charge.
Yeah, it's like, all those pirates basically turn into, like, extra copies of SI7 Agent, except you don't have to go around doing a combo.
Yeah, so, like, you go turn 2 Keleseth, turn 3 South Sea Captain, boom, a 3/3 hits him in the face.
Right.
And that's insane. But now he doesn't have charge. So he's just a 1/1. Now granted, in that deck it might still be fine to get the free 3/3.
Yeah, that's still good value.
But if you're just getting a free 1/1, which is what happens the vast majority of the time.
It's not as good.
I don't know if it's even worth playing anymore. I legitimately have no idea. And it's been a long time since I got Patches out and forgot to attack with him. I finally broke myself of that. That makes you feel really stupid, too. And you've probably done it. Don't give me that look. And before, if you drew Patches, well, your win percentage dropped because you don't get the free dude anymore.
Right.
But now if you draw Patches, he's literally useless. He's just a 1/1. You don't even get to, like, poke a thing.
Yeah. I read suggestions in some other places, like, could they have given him Battlecry gain charge so that he still has that purpose and value in life, but I don't know.
That way they nerf the jump out and swing, but they don't nerf the play from hand.
Right.
Guess we'll never know because they didn't do that.
I mean, Patches has always been obnoxious, but the problem is that it's because of the 2 things that are completely integral to the card itself and how it works and what it is. I mean, they can't make this a 1-0, you know.
They could make it a 0-1.
And they could make it cost 11 and it would still be the same card.
No, that's true. Except when you draw it, you're literally screwed.
Yes.
So I don't...
Maybe that would have been the balancing. Oh, that would have been so hilarious. You should have done that, Blizzard.
But, like, I don't know what they could have done, but clearly something needed to be done with patches, because a few days ago, and I actually tweeted a screenshot of this, I ran into an aggro priest. Like, I played my Galaka Crawler on turn 2 because it was a priest.
Right.
And he goes, South Sea Captain and patches hit you in the face. And I'm like, what just happened?
Those are always really frightening when they show up.
And then he
played
a Bittertide Hydra. And I'm going, I'm at rank like 6. What is this? What? So, like every class is running pirates. And that's insane. And they're only doing it because of this little stupid 1-1. So I understand that something needed to be done.
Yeah.
Especially in Wild, where, like they mentioned, that his early game power forces control decks to include a good answer for him. Which is true. I've put Galaka Crawlers in lots of decks.
Yeah.
Because it's a stupid 2-mana 2/3, but sometimes it's a 2-mana 3/4 that kills a thing, and you feel like a genius. But it says, this change should give Wild players more flexibility when building their decks. So apparently he's a thing in Wild. Now, I don't know anything about Wild.
No, same.
So it could be that Patches is just terrible in ruling Wild and whatever. The thing that this hurts me the most is that I've been wanting to do a dungeon run with either Rogue or Warrior where I just get like 10 patches.
Oh.
And this is going to kill that completely.
Gosh.
So I guess I need to hurry up and get on that. And just do Warrior and Rogue runs until I make it happen. So I go, yay! And then it's gone.
I've read people sharing anecdotes of that.
Yeah.
It sounds really fun and silly.
So that sucks. That's going to change. But as far as the health of the game goes, that literally doesn't matter. So, so yeah, this one caught me off guard. I read it and I was like, that seems terrible. And then I realized how much I hate Patches when I'm not playing him. And then I realized how much I hate myself when I'm playing Patches. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know?
It's for the better, but gosh, sorry, Patches. Sorry, it had to be you. Better you than me, I guess.
I mean, let's face it, Patches. You were the problem. So the last one, there are only 4 nerfs this time. So, which some people are saying is a problem. We'll get to that. Raza the Chained no longer makes your hero power free with its battle cry. It makes your hero power cost 1. The problem with this, as soon as they revealed Shadow Reaper Anduin, we all immediately went, oh my god, Raza. And we were right. Like, that's insanely busted. And then people figured out, as the deck evolved, people figured out that you can play lots and lots and lots of insanely cheap or free spells and play Prophet Velen and have like a 1,000,000 damage combo that all you have to do is not die.
Which is Priest's whole thing.
Yeah, that's what Priest does with all of its heals and its Dragonfire Potion, and then they gave it Psychic Scream.
Yeah.
For some reason. It's very good at not dying, and then you have lots of the cheap card draw dudes in the deck. You just wait until you have... You draw and play Raza, you draw and play Anduin, and then you go Velen, and you burn their face for 4 with every spell, and it doesn't cost you anything. Like, I have lost from well over 40 life. I'm like, okay, I've got full health, I've got lots of armor, I'm good, and they're like, Velen, brrr, you're dead. And I'm like, what? And it's a problem. Like, it was, especially in like the tournament scene and at high level play, the Raza Priest was by far the most prevalent deck. And it's ridiculous. So they've decided to do something about that finally. They claim it's for Wild. Well, adjusting his battlecry will lower his overall power level when combined with Shadow Reaper Anduin in Standard. Yes.
Yes.
And keep his power level reasonable in Wild as we prepare for the new Hearthstone year. Now, it is possible that in the next set, after Raza rotates from Standard, that there's some crazy stuff that will destroy Wild.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it's possible. It might even be probable, given Blizzard's track record. But this is, between this and patches, it's good that they're at least looking at Wild and being like, we should probably not break that format completely.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. And personally, I'm perfectly happy with this.
I am. You know, Anduin with his, even when his abilities still cost 2, that's bad enough.
But at least it's fair.
Yeah, but at least you can sometimes do something about it.
Yeah. Like, I run Anduin in my big priest deck.
Yeah.
It's another board wipe of things that would kill me. And it gives me poke damage to break through.
Right.
While I'm playing big things or resurrecting big things or whatever. But it's not busted. Like, the most busted thing I can do is like hero power, Dragonfire Potion, hero power, and I'm done.
Yeah.
So it's powerful, but it's not stupid when it costs 2 mana. And we've already determined when it costs 0 mana, it's powerful and completely stupid.
Right. Yeah.
So 1 mana is probably the happy medium, I guess.
Yeah, no matter what kind of mathematics you're doing, 0 is going to cause problems.
See also Quarter Creeper. See also Patches. I think this is fine. I saw a lot of ideas pitched for this. A possible nerf would be your current hero power costs 1 this game. So he's a 5 mana 5/5 that you just play whenever you draw him, and everything's better from then on. And in order for the combo to work, you have to wait until after you Anduin, and then play Raza.
I see.
Which just slows it down a little bit, but you're still, that's just changing the early game.
Yeah.
To where you've got,
that just means you don't have the free heal in the early game.
Exactly. Well, you also don't have the,
which makes a difference, but
you also don't have the big ass 5/5 in the early game too, which matters against aggro decks. But you still end up with the end game of burn you down from like 1,000,000. So I think this is probably a better, because this puts a hard limit on the amount of damage you can do, even if you've somehow got a handful of free spells. You're still only getting a maximum of 10 activations. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, which is a lot. And hopefully,
which is a lot.
Hopefully that can get you there if you are able to pull it off. But
the main response, other than complaining about the individual nerfs, and I just crafted this entire deck. Well, one, if you pay attention, balance changes have been on a regular schedule for like the last 2 years. But unlike Magic and the ban list changes, they haven't like broadcasted, hey, we're doing it this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Which I really wish they would do, because they have been doing it at regular intervals. Other than those complaints, which you always get when there are nerfs, complaining about the cards, I just crafted an entire deck, stuff like that. The major complaint was nothing changed in the realm of Warlock. That face right there says it all. How sick are you of turn 6 Void Lords, Mike?
I mean, I have beaten stuff like that before, but they're like really weird corner cases where, because their board is completely full because of something they just did, I'm able to kill one, there's only one Voidwalker, kill that, break through, game's over. Otherwise, I would have lost next turn. Otherwise, it's just way too many cards coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, between
way too many cards and copies of cards being created.
Between the obnoxious 2/2 guy,
yes,
and Dark Pact,
yes,
which sacrifices the thing and gives them 8 life. It's the 8 life. Like, there's a 1-mana dude who says sacrifice a friendly minion, get +2/+2. Nobody plays it.
No.
Although, my buddy Will did determine that it's really sick in the mirror. Nobody plays that guy. Forget it. I don't even know his name.
Sanguine something.
Reveler? Sanguine Reveler?
I think so.
Maybe. Not that it matters. But nobody plays that. They play the 8 mana, or the 8 life boost, because that's a lot.
Yes.
Like a lot. You remember Antique Healbot? It was a 5 mana 3/3, and you know what? Everyone played it because it was amazing.
I miss Antique Healbot so bad. That was my one thing where I was able to call it ahead of better players and realizing how awesome it was.
Between that and the freaking skull of whatever, the legendary weapon.
It's called a Minari.
Something like that. Getting a Void Lord on turn 6 is always happening.
Right.
Void Lord is fine on turn 9. I mean, it's annoying, but it's fine. On turn 6, you get 1 from your 2/2, you get 1 from the skull, and then you get them both back with freaking Gul'dan, and then you get all 4 of them back with N'Zoth. And it starts on turn 6. Like, it's just unreal. And
I mean, one of the big problems there is the recruit mechanic and how it can be exploited to make the same thing happen every single game.
Yeah, which is fine in some cases, like the Hunter legendary, Kathrina, whatever, whose Battle Cry and Death Rattle are both recruit a beast.
Yeah.
Like, that's because she costs, I think, 7 or 8 or something.
Right.
Like, it's fine. The recruit a minion one in Warrior costs what, 6?
A lot.
Something like that.
And because it's just a minion, because the class of stuff you're getting is so wide,
yeah,
it's super hard to exploit.
Unless you build a very specific flavor of deck. Which I ran into one of those once, and it wiped the floor with me. I was like, that's brilliant! You know what? I've never seen it again. So, yeah, because it says a demon, and those decks usually only run Void Lord and sometimes Doomguard. Like, the Doomguard variant has fallen out of favor recently.
I'm still constantly getting smacked in the face by Doomguard, so...
Yeah. Like
that must be on your end of the ladder.
But it's fairly widely recognized as the number 2 deck on the ladder behind Raza Priest. And it's easily the number 2 deck in, like, the competitive scene. And yet, nothing. No changes, no nerfs, no anything. And I was like, oh.
And I know to some extent the answer is get good, but that can't be the only answer. That can't be the only thing remaining to say.
Well, when some of the best players in the world are also going, did they really not touch Warlock? It's not just get good.
Okay.
So, like, it's a legitimate issue. Now, it could be that Raza Priest and the aggro decks are actually, like, keeping down other decks that are good against Control Warlock?
Possible.
Now, I don't know what those could be, but I get that might be their line of thinking. I don't know.
I guess for something to be effective against Control Warlock, you have to have some very specific ways to interact with the board, and Raza Priest doesn't care about the board, like, at all. Interacting with Raza Priest's board doesn't really do anything for you.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how the meta shakes out. As of right now, this was announced yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know, because it hasn't gone through yet. But once it does, you'll see just like we do. But that's not all we're here to talk about.
Right.
Not only have they made the Nerf announcement, but a few days before that, or a week, or on the 25th, so yeah, a few days before that, they announced changes to the ladder system, which I did not see coming.
Yeah, no.
So, the way it works right now is so you get the card back every month if you hit rank 20, right?
Right.
And hitting rank 20 in the current system doesn't take long, even if you're at 25.
Yeah, it takes some effort,
but not much, because you can't lose stars at any rank between 25 and 20.
correct.
So if you just play a bit throughout the month, you're gonna get there, because each rank has 2 stars and you can't lose stars. So you get on a streak and you can run through it. I remember once I had a Murloc quest and I went, so I went to Wild, made a stupid Murloc Paladin deck, and I went from 25 to 19 in like 10, 15 minutes. It was so stupid. I'm like, what just happened? So if you get on a streak, like, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then once you hit 20 in any season, you will get the card back at the end of the season. And there you go. Well, the first change they announced is you're not getting it at rank 20 anymore. Now you just have to win 5 ranked games during a season. That's it. Just win 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 quests.
Yeah. Easy, yeah.
The reason for this is because starting in... Now, these changes all start in March. So next season, February, it's going to be just like every other.
Right.
Oh, also, you get a little bar at the beginning of each month. And video game players love filling up bars. Yeah. Like, I'm about to hit 500 wins with, I think it's Paladin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, look at that. Look at the number go up. Soon it's going to match that number, and I'll get a golden Uther. Like, and I'm still, I think I just, like a couple weeks ago, got my Shaman up to level 60. Not Shaman, Rogue.
Uh-huh.
And I was like... And it doesn't matter, because what did it get me? A Golden Zenjin Shieldmaster. And I don't play with golden cards, so it literally didn't matter, but I was like, I did it! But yeah, we love filling up bars, and it gives you a bar. 0 of 5 wins. Boop, 1 of 5 wins. Yes! But the reason that they've changed that is because starting in March, all ranks are now going to have 5 stars. Now that's huge. Like, between 25 and 20, each rank has 2. So like I said, you get on a streak and you're out. You're in 20.
Right.
Like that. Is it 3 stars?
It's 3.
Between 20 and 15.
Yes.
15 to 10 has 4.
And it's 5 stars all the way up from there.
Is that right? But now all ranks are going to have 5 stars. And there's a reason for that too, so everybody calm down. Once you hit the end of the season, instead of dropping your rank in some bizarre way based on the number of stars you have.
Yeah, but it takes your current level and star count and then gives you a number of stars based on that, and that number of stars determines what level you.
So yeah, if you're at Legend when the season ends, the next season you're at, it's like 15 or 16 or something. I don't actually know. I've never been to Legend. But it's somewhere down there with us regular folk. I really hate playing ladder in like the first 3 days of a season. I just hate it because I can't buy a win.
It's just a mess. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I'm sitting at like 18 or 17 or 19 or wherever I end up, and I'm just losing to these like tier 1 decks, and I'm playing tier 1 decks and losing at rank 19. I'm going, instead of doing that bizarre arcane thing, starting with the March season, so in April, you'll just look at where you are, and you'll drop exactly 4 ranks. Done. So if you're sitting at rank 12 with 3 stars, you'll be at rank, 16. I almost said 8, 16. I'm like, you drop 4, so that's 8. You'll be at rank 16 with 3 stars. No arcane nonsense.
Nope.
No math. No, okay, wait, how many? Okay, so it's 10, and then it's... Nope. It's very easy. You just... 4 stars. Ranks. 4 ranks. Just
yeah.
For
but
me,
if you're at rank 24, you'll only lose 1 level.
Nice. Value.
Sorry.
If you win enough to get your pack or your card back, you're right back where you started. Value. Now, from my perspective, I tend to fall on a given month when I'm not like tryharding. I tend to fall somewhere between like 12 and 9. 13 and 9 at the end of the month, usually.
Yeah, for me, I don't consistently make 15. I try, but it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, so we live in 2 different, and this month I made it to 5.
Nice.
And so we live in 2 different enough parts of the ladder. And for me, I read this and I was like, oh, that's so sick. Because I really hate dropping back down to 19 and hating everything.
Yeah.
When all the people that are, you know, at my rank or so at the end of the last season, we're all fighting down here. And sometimes I feel bad because, you know, I'm at rank 19 and I just crush with my tier 1 deck. I just crush somebody who obviously hasn't been playing very long, and I feel really bad.
Yeah.
But that's because at the beginning of every season, the ladder gets smushed all down here.
Yeah, there's a big pile down at the bottom.
Yeah. So...
But this way, everyone just moves that far to the left.
Yeah, and it'll open it up. Now, how about for someone lower? Like, does having 5 stars in each rank... Because this didn't occur to me at first until someone pointed out that means people trying to get, like, back to 20... Essentially, you've got to get 20 stars to get back where you were last month.
Yeah.
Which, so, like, this is way better for the ladder as a whole. But for people at the bottom of the ladder, it's a large pain.
Kind of sucks, yeah.
Yeah, because now you're getting pushed back further than you would. And you have to climb harder to get back where you were. So how does that, not that you're at the bottom of the ladder, but how does that make you feel as someone who's sitting lower than I am?
Like, when I stopped and thought about it, it's like, okay, not counting the effect of streaks, which do matter, you need to have net 20 wins to get back to where you were before, which can be a lot, especially for someone who doesn't have as many of the cards, who isn't as good, who doesn't get a chance to play as often. You're not going to see the same ranks that you were before. It might be even harder for me to semi-consistently reach 15 under this system, depending. Because the thing is, with more stars at each rank, you get more granular matchmaking at the lower levels. I don't know how much that'll actually matter.
It'll matter more at the beginning of each season.
Yeah, it will.
What this really does, and I've just had this thought listening to you, is this redefines the ladder entirely. It's not just that it creates, you know, wider spaces instead of everybody being smushed down at the bottom.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like everyone, like Mike said, you just move 4 steps to the left. So if you're like a rank 20 player right now and you consistently stay there, it's possible that with this new system, you won't be a rank 20 player anymore. And while that might feel bad, it shouldn't. Because what they've done is actually redefine the ladder. So the number itself, now that they've taken away the hit 20 to get a card back, the number itself literally doesn't matter. It's arbitrary.
It doesn't.
So
it only matters for matchmaking now.
Yeah, the important thing is that if you find yourself stuck at this point, you know, from month to month, then that's where, and this is going to sound insulting, it's not meant to be, that's where you're supposed to be. Like, if you get to a point and you just can't win anymore, and you keep getting to that same point, you know, month to month, that's where you live. That's where your skill level and collection level combine to put you.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that, because the number doesn't matter. As long as you win 5, you're still getting the only thing that the number mattered until you get up high and, you know, you're trying to get to legend. But none of that changed because they had 5 stars anyway.
Yeah, before the only ranks that mattered were the only ranks that really mattered in any reward type sense were, you know, 20 for the card back. I guess the other 5s because it improves your chest. And then
oh yeah, there's the chest.
And then getting over the top of 1 to legend.
Yeah.
And now
okay, I forgot about that.
I guess you still have the chest improvements at 5s.
So okay, that is a small issue. There have been several months where I've been like, let me just get to 10 or 15 or whatever, so I can get the slightly better chest. But really, the rewards in the chest between 20 and 15, they're not. It doesn't matter. You get like a gold rare instead of a common or something. It just,
Yeah, that's true.
On the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter much. It'll still feel bad if you don't get to where you were before, but like it's like take solace in the fact that you're not missing much.
People at the lower rankings sometimes feel like they hit a wall when they finally get to 20 and then can't get any further than that. And I've definitely had months where I've hit that 20 wall.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, especially near the beginning and even towards the middle at the end, I don't know what's going on. I'm playing against these crazy good decks that I'm hearing about that are actually like real decks, and I'm like, we're rank 19. Why are you my opponent? You know, I'm here because I don't have the cards and I suck. You must be horrible. And yet I'm losing. You know,
because you have the cards.
No, I don't have the card.
No, your opponent.
Yeah. But you're down here with me and my dumb ass. You know, why is this happening to me? You know, but so that wall can feel very real sometimes.
Yeah.
And hopefully spreading out the levels and putting 5 stars in each one, like I said, it unlumps the matchmaking.
It seems like that.
I mean, they're still going to get some lumpiness if they keep the you can't lose stars at this rank thing. There's still going to be lumps on the 5s, and especially at 20. But I hope it'll be better. I think it'll be better. Intuitively, it seems like it should, but who knows?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, just by thinking about it, this is a good change. It means, like Mike said, you don't get the lump of everybody down at the bottom. After each season, everybody just shifts, and you're always playing, in theory, against people of your skills class / collection level. Mm-hmm. Because both of those things matter. Like, I've had a lot of cards for a while, and I didn't start to climb terribly high until just the last few months, because I started actually thinking and paying attention, but I had a bunch of the cards, you know? And
even still, even though I say I don't have the cards, I still have a lot for a free-to-play person since I started so early on. So, gosh, I don't know what it's like for someone who'd be wanting to start free-to-play now. That must be really arduous.
Yeah, people ask me that sometimes, and they're like, "Hey, I just started. What should I do?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. When I started, there was one set and an adventure. Like, I don't even know how to do it anymore."
Yeah, there was one set, and I only spent gold on Arena. You know.
Yeah, like I don't know. But we've got off the point. So
yeah,
we've got nerfs. We've got new rank system. The nerfs go into effect February sometime. New rank system starts in March. I am looking forward to all of that, except probably the Quarter Creeper. That one hurts just because I play it a lot. Or I used to play it a lot. So, that's what I got. You got anything else?
No, that's the extent of it.
Alright. So, I've been Chewie. This has been Mike. This has been the TMP Nerf Report. Thank you all so very much for watching, and go play some Hearthstone.